Years ago, I helped my sister by lying to her husband, creating some documents that claimed her son was his, because he suspected her of infidelity. I didn't investigate who the father was. I simply wanted to help my sister. Later, my sister moved in with my husband. They settled down. The son ended up being legally his, and my sister's husband's reaction was to end the life of that child who had connected them and had destroyed 3 other lives. Why 3? Because he destroyed the man we made him believe was his father. He destroyed me, and he destroyed my sister's husband's father. Because when the Lord discovered that he wasn't his grandson, but rather the one to whom he had bequeathed everything, the Lord left this world because something had broken his heart. It's a tangled mess, but it all started with a lie that I covered up. Because if I had told the truth, it would have come out a long time ago, and I wouldn't have been so quick to walk down the aisle with that man. My sister's husband suspected she had been unfaithful with another man, but he didn't know who that man was. I mean, he might have seen him the day he started to suspect, but he didn't know. So, my sister got pregnant, and she came to me and said we had to wait for the baby to be born and that we should get some DNA tests done because her husband wanted them. I'm a doctor. So when they gave me the results, I took the documents, changed them, and had a doctor friend of mine sign them so they would look real. So that was the document we presented to my sister's husband. The 9 months of pregnancy had already passed. I had been in a relationship with my partner for a year. My partner approached me so he could be with my sister and find out more about the baby, because my sister had told him she was pregnant. My sister was having an affair. He knew she was pregnant but didn't realize it, and he didn't want to leave her. And those two did think it was okay for him to get involved with me so they could all be together. And well, I helped my sister too. I mean, it's a total mess, but they took advantage of us. So when we gave my sister's husband the documents proving that he was the son, but it was a lie, I didn't ask my sister, and who's the father? Because the real documents said he wasn't the man, but I didn't ask her either because I knew my sister had gotten herself into a mess. But I didn't know who he was with either, because I don't like to interfere in anyone's life. Then, about a year into our relationship, which was already stable and everything, I thought, well, if he's the man, he proposes to me. Then, when my sister's baby was born, and it wasn't her husband's, but my husband's, well, that's when he comes along, proposes to me, and gets involved with the family. So I introduced him. When I introduced him, I remember very well that my sister's husband stared at me and said, "How long have you been with him?" And I said, "A year." "Why?" he asked. "Oh, nothing." And he walked away. I told my sister that her husband had asked me that, and she said, "Oh, no. It's just that he's so jealous. Who knows what he imagined? But don't worry about it." I arranged my wedding. I got married because he kept saying, "No, I want us to get married now, to move in together." Because we all lived in a house, a big mansion. My mom is a doctor. My dad is a doctor. I'm a doctor. My sister is also a doctor. So we had a very big, very beautiful house, and we like to spend time together. My sister is going to move in with her husband to our house because it's the big house. Why? Because my parents' house is there, and on one side is my apartment, my house, and on the other side is my sister's, right? It's a large space. So, my sister is going to move there. My sister already lived there with her partner, and I'm getting married and moving there too. But I already had my own separate house, but we'll all be in the same space. So, 2 years into my marriage, my sister's son was 3 years old, a big boy, the cutest thing ever. He fell and scraped himself. I could see that my husband adored that little boy. He spent a lot of time with him, and I thought, how cool, he's like my nephew. My sister and he were together and all that, and my sister's husband was totally blown away. When the boy was 3 years old, I remember so clearly that he fell and got a small scrape on his knee, and my sister's husband came running to pick him up, and my husband was there too. Then they picked the boy up. I was sitting in a rocking chair in the hallway of the big house, and I just watched the two of them arguing. So I got up and said to them, "What happened?" And my sister's husband said to me, "Are you sure your husband and my wife don't know each other or didn't know each other before?" And my husband put the child down and said to him, "Oh no, sir, you're at it again with your paranoia. You're always nagging me about the same thing." And I said to him, "But what's going on?" Then my husband went to our house and said to me, "It's just that I'm sure that man has something to do with my family." "But why?" he said. Because we also have a sixth sense that never fails. He said, it's because of the N test, because that N test came back positive. Otherwise, I could say that my son is her husband's son. I said to him, but why? Then he takes out his cell phone, something he had never done before. After 3 years, he does it, and he shows me pictures of my sister with someone 2 years into my marriage, right? But from when the child was 3 years old. He says that when his sister got pregnant, she was unfaithful to me with this person, and I'm absolutely sure that person is her husband. And I start looking at the pictures. Well, yes, he was facing away from me, but there was one in profile, and I said to him, it's him. She said, right? She said, I confronted your husband when he first married you, when he came to live here. I showed him the pictures and he says, no, no, and no. She said, but look at my son and look at your husband. She said, it's because of the DNA test, I swear. Otherwise, I would still believe that child isn't mine. And I remembered that I had switched that paper. So I told him, get it done again because I was involved in this and this. And he went with the child to get tested without my sister knowing, without my husband knowing that we had already discussed it. And he never came back with the child. I mean, he went to get tested and they came back. But the day they went to claim the results, he never returned with the child and called my sister. Exactly 9 hours had passed since he had disappeared with the child. He called my sister, and he was already in another country. He told my sister where she could go to pick up the child. The way he took the child from this world was so cruel, like putting a sock on him, and I feel like I was to blame for speaking up, because maybe I should have confronted my husband, because I stayed silent. I was waiting for the results. I had participated in drawing blood from my husband for the test. You know, I had done things without my husband noticing. My husband obviously felt the blood, but I told him it was for tests, and since I was a doctor, I was also waiting for those results. 9 hours later, when he showed up and told my sister where to go to pick up his son and everything, that's when he sent me the results and said, the father of that child. If he's her husband, they're still lovers, and there's a reason he married you. Then I confronted him. My partner was going through the hardest time of his life, let's say, because he had just found out his son had been killed. He already knew it was his son. So when I caught him in that state, he started telling me yes, that he had married me to be close to him and my sister, but that he had only learned to care for me, that he didn't love me, but to care for me because I was a good woman who had learned to. I tried to differentiate between passion and love, but Kelly and my sister were still together. My mom and dad kicked him out of the house, but not my sister, because they understood the pain she was going through with her son and other things. My sister lives next door, I used to live next door, and we don't speak anymore. My parents are devastated because they say they don't know when their family fell apart after being such hardworking people with strong values. And my sister, everything she did. My sister's husband's father, who believed the child was his grandson, had bequeathed him everything. When he found out what his son had done, it was like something struck him in the heart, and he died. I unwittingly participated in such a terrible betrayal. They used me so they could continue living their way of wanting to destroy others. They made fun of me. They made fun of that man. I'm not justifying what he did, but he was hurt. Everyone reacts differently to things that hurt them. He's in another country, and I highly doubt he'll pay for what he did, because several years have passed, and eventually, those things get filed away. My sister kept seeing me and is now approaching the house, and my mom and dad are telling me that's just how life is and that my sister might bring him to live there. So he won't be living at my house anymore, but at my sister's. I think I have to make some decisions for the first time in my life. I have to understand that I must let go of my parents. As much as they've given me, I can't keep letting my decisions control me. How?